Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 127 of the Your Next Level Mastermind. And our topic for today is the hidden emotional toll of running a small business. The hidden emotional toll of running a small business. And for those who are watching the replay and you are running a small business, let me assure you, if you don't have any emotional tolls, then really you are not running a business at all. Okay. You need to be aware that this is going to hit you when you least expect it. You've got to be able to deal with it when you least expect it. Because the emotional tolls of business are something that can be, I mean, how long is a piece of string? And these people will share with you their thoughts, their experiences about that, etc. In the meantime, for those who are watching the replay, please make sure you check all the links that these people have underneath their video on YouTube. They give up their time, their expertise, and even the chance of having a cold beer or a red wine, whatever it is, or whatever you're drinking. Pat, I'm not sure what you're drinking over there. But please give yourself the opportunity to reach out to these people, but not just reach out to them, not just connect with them, but do the old-fashioned thing. Talk with them. Talk with them and find out about them. Find out what they're all about. They may open doors for you that you never thought possible before. They may be the person you've been looking for you never thought possible before. They may very well be the person who has a network that you can fit in with, but you won't know until you talk to them. So I don't want you just to click a link and do whatever it is. I want you to actually book a time to talk with them. And these people will be leaving the best way for you to contact them underneath this video, okay? So without any further ado, I want to get them to start to introduce themselves to you. And we'll start with John. You were here first. So we'll start with you, John Allen, followed by Glenda.
Good morning, good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, no matter where you are in this beautiful world of ours. I'm John D. Allen of Allen Small Business Coaching. I specialize in helping business coaches with their LOR, their loss of revenue. You know, a lot of people tell us, business coaches tell me, I need more clients, I need more clients. A lot of times, that's not going to matter if you have more clients, because if you got holes in your bucket and you're losing them there, more clients aren't going to do you any good. So reach out, have a talk. I may or may not be the right person for you, but let's have a talk to see how we can fix your LOR. My contact information is in there and be happy to talk with you. Thanks, Peter. John D. Allen, Allen Small Business Coaching.
Thanks, John. And one more time, what does it stand for?
LOR, loss of revenue.
Loss of revenue. It's hard enough to get it in the first place, let alone lose it because you've got a hole in your bucket, right? No doubt about that. It reminds me of a song. Wasn't there a song? There's a hole in your bucket. Oh, stop that, Peter. Stop that. Okay. Glenda Kroll, followed by George.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Glenda. Just like the Good Witch and the Wizard of Oz, I'm known as a life reinvention specialist because I have danced through so many chapters of my own journey, reinventing my time and myself time and time again. An example of what I've achieved is my 3-step program to uncover your hidden talents, just like Dorothy did with her ruby slippers. Now what I'm up to is I'm blending skill mastery with AI wizardry. Key to my success strives on positivity and perpetual learning. Growing up with 2 special needs siblings infused my passion to helping others. And now my mission is to leverage AI as a side hustle to help you monetize your message. What I love most about what I do is helping to elevate lives by increasing income. If you want to speak to me personally, go to my website, glendakroll.com, and I'll be more than thrilled to have a 45-minute conversation with you to see what's stopping you from moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenda. Give that to me again. Elevate what to achieve what? What was that?
My journey is to help people to elevate themselves. And what I'm doing right now is I'm working with a new program to teach people how to use AI to establish their learning and helping them to create their lives and giving out their message.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. And also, just publicly, Glenda, thank you. We had a fantastic session just recently, and I enjoyed and appreciated every moment of it. So thank you, Glenda.
My pleasure.
George.naugle, followed by Carol Davies.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is George.naugle from George.naugle International. I help my clients create memorable experiences for their clients so they create a profitable and predictable business. Once I finish that, we franchise it.
That sounds pretty good to me. Especially the last bit. If you can franchise it, that's what you call scaling on the best way possible. Well done, George. Thank you for sharing. Carol Davies, followed by Pat Dreyer.
Morning, everyone. I'm Carol Davies. I'm located in London, Ontario, Canada, but I work globally with people through exciting Zoom sessions and other ways. So I'd like to help busy, stressed women professionals in the corporate world who feel like maybe they're stuck and they really want doing something different, like starting their own business. So I have a very nice process that takes them through so that they find out what they're really excited about, what they really want to do. And together we find a great way to go forward so they can have lots of happiness, joy, and ease in their personal and professional life. I use a number of techniques, but what it really is I see myself as being part of a team. So if you're interested in starting a new chapter in your life and you want to do it and you're just not quite sure, please get in touch with me through my website, thepassionmotivator.com, and I'd love to speak with you.
And so they could be people, Carol, who are right now in the corporate arena, but wanting to get out. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Pat Dreyer, followed by Fred Gillen.
There's a lot of that wanting to get out of the corporate world right now. So you should be just fine there, Carol. Hey, everybody. I am Pat Dreyer from Phoenix, Arizona in the U.S. here. And I use leverage of network marketing and a company called My Daily Choice as the vehicle, really, to build a home business. Now, I don't know of many opportunities where you can get in for free, get trained for free, and receive all the necessary tools to make $100,000 income in your first year. So what do? I just show people how to make money. There's 3 simple steps to it. And it's really just a lot of people doing a little bit. So that's it. Once you learn these skills, you'll never have to work for someone else ever again. And I'm looking for a partner, Peter. And if anybody's interested, my link is in here and I'll show you everything you need to know.
Thank you, Pat. Very much indeed. So if you want to
Thank you,
partner with someone like Pat, he's not only been around a while, he knows what it's all about. And he's got the runs on the board. And I'm going to say a naughty thing here, Pat. I hope you don't mind me saying this. I'm going to say it anyway. Okay. Anyone in network marketing has got a team of 1,800 must be doing something right. So well done, mate. Well done. Okay. Fred, followed by Alpha. Nice to see you, Alpha. Fred Gillen first. Are you with me, Fred?
Trying to unmute himself.
Dear Henry, fix it.
You set me
With
up.
what should I fix it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what should I fix it, dear Liza? With what?
That's your bucket, Peter.
I'll come back on. So that was just one more marketing ideas for everyone. So there's a hole in the bucket. Hi guys, I'm Fred Gillen. I got a consultancy, help small business owners get their message out there, and it's called Marketing Ideas. And the reason it's called more Marketing Ideas is because that's what I actually do. I give businesses more marketing ideas. Everybody needs more marketing ideas because without ideas, you're going nowhere. So all you got to do is Google more marketing ideas. You'll find me. My details are in the chat, and you can have a chat with me, and I'll give you more marketing ideas. So that's it. Short tonight.
Thank you, Fred. So please make sure, as I said earlier, you reach out to each of these people, Carol and George and Pat, Alpha, Fred, John, Glenda. Reach out to them and make a time to talk with them. Don't play that silly game of going to their website and just having a look around. That's not going to get you anywhere. If you're in a situation you need to change, then you need to talk to these people who can help you change. And the only way to do that is to talk to them. So use the links they give you, please, and take the opportunity. These people are not just good at what they do, they're approachable. And if they're approachable and good at what they do, they're pretty rare. So don't miss the opportunity. Okay, Alpha Freeman, nice to see you, followed by Ashvin.
Hello, how are you?
Ashvin, wait. Alpha.
All right, thank you so much, Pat and Peter. Hi, everyone. My name is Alpha Freeman. I'm located here in Frankfurt, Germany. I'm specialized in next generation business talk, where I talk about business entrepreneurs in today's business world. But most importantly, I'm more catered to understanding and learning the business antics in the day-to-day business world. I'm looking to interview new people, looking to have new people on the show. Most importantly, looking to grow, learn, and build as a young entrepreneur. Each and every day I'm learning myself and I'm growing, and I want to have people on that journey with me. So please feel free to reach out to me as I'm learning and growing and building. Looking forward to growing together as a whole. My name is Alpha Freeman, and I'm the host of Next Generation Business Talk. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Alpha. And I think it's fantastic the way that you are sharing every step that you take, because you're providing a blueprint for people to follow. Do you realize that?
Not really.
You are really. You are. I mean, I can tell you, we're going to be. I said this before. One of these days, when you're on the cover of Time magazine, I'm going to say, "We knew that bloody."
God's grace, amen. Thank you, Peter.
So no, seriously, we. Excuse me, because you're sharing as you're growing, as you're learning, and I think that is honourable, but gutsy, and also extremely attractive to people because they can resonate with you. So well done. Well done. Ashvin, I cut you off before. Hello, Ashvin. Here you go.
How are you guys? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. My name is Afshin Nuhi. I'm here from Richmond Hill, Ontario. Just north of Toronto. I help small businesses to generate more leads and keep converting them and keeping the leads for themselves. So when they get referrals from the leads, and you can reach me at afshinnuhi@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashvin. And we've got Penny Kennedy joining us in a very few moments. But before we go any further, before we start talking about the topic, and before my granddaughter comes in with all these darn dogs, excuse me, this.
Is it still just two?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Did you get her another one? Still just two?
Two's enough, Pat. Come on.
Oh, I know.
Bring her over. Okay. This is a fully professional show we run here.
Huh?
This is one. Okay. This is one. This is the
Two
small
beauties.
one. This is the small one. Okay, say goodbye, everybody. Okay. Now, sorry. Apologies. Yvonne A. Jones, Joey Healy, Mark Engstar, Jeff Beal, all these people are always here, but they just can't make it for some very good reasons. Shashir Lakhani, Janet Pacelli, and Anthony Pacelli, they both woke up this morning crook as dogs. So was that the right expression? I don't know whether that's the right expression, but sick as dogs, whatever. Well, they're not good anyway, right? So they send their apologies to you as well. Penny Kennedy I've got as an apology, but I think she's going to join us in a few minutes, which is great. Marlene Gardner, Sherry Bennett, and Bonnie Hewitt. She's going to try and join us, but her kids have got, is there a thing called foot and mouth disease? Do I get that right? Yeah.
Yep.
And humans can get that. So her
They
boys
can. I
have got
found
that.
it.
Her boys have got that, and she's still going to try and join us here with all these blisters in her mouth. And I said, "Oh, goodness gracious, Bonnie, take it easy." But if she's here, give her a clap, because I mean that's pretty gutsy effort if she shows up. There's no doubt about that. All right, here we go. The topic for today: the hidden emotional toll of running a small business. Okay, down the bottom you'll see a little button called reactions. If you press that, you can raise your hand, and I'll take you in the order that your hand has been raised. And I'm looking forward to hearing what your thoughts are, because by the way, I'll be totally brutally honest with you. I think this is a really good topic, but I didn't make it up. Okay. All I did was go to ChatGPT and it did it all for me. So I said, thank you very much, ChatGPT. I'll take it, right? So I've got to be transparent where it is. John, you're first. Always hard to beat. Okay. The hidden emotional toll of running a small business from your perspective. What do you think?
Well, I can tell you from experience, it can really kick the crap out of you, because you don't feel like you're doing enough, or you're not good enough, or, you're not getting the clients, or the money's not coming in, or there's a gazillion other things that are causing you stress. You need to do something to relieve it. For me, one of the best ways I find is to go for a long walk. Fortunate enough here, while I'm still in southwestern Ontario, to be close to go down and walk along the beach at Port Stanley. But also you can walk in the woods, you can walk virtually anywhere. Take the dogs for a walk. Get out and enjoy nature. Get out and do something for yourself. If you just sit there, especially for solopreneurs and, one person shows, you're stuck in front of that computer all day. And you need to get out and associate with other people and get some fresh air. Because if all you do is sit in front of that computer, you're going to be screwed. Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, John. But before you go, you talked about how to overcome them, which I appreciate, the long walks, etc. But when we're actually talking about the actual hidden emotional toll, what sort of things could that be? What sort of toll, from your experience, can people be experiencing?
They got the stress, like I said, of not being able to generate the revenue, not having enough clients. They may not be eating. They may not be sleeping properly. You might have that waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, staring at the ceiling, saying, oh God, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to do this? And it all adds up to it. There's a lot of stress and strain, and you have to do something to relieve it.
Yeah. Okay. And if you don't relieve it, then you'll be going to have to talk to people like Glenda Kroll very quickly, if that's what she's good at.
Don't use the 12-cent solution.
Oh, John. Wow.
Yeah. I didn't think Canadians thought that way.
Some do, yes.
Wow. Okay. George, the hidden emotional toll of running a small business from George's perspective. What do you think?
Wow, there's so many of them. One would be, stress. Stress is broken down into many things. Overwhelm, uncertainty, certainty. I would say the feeling of, loss from loss, because you have to give up time. Could be time away from family, or when you are with family, the feeling that you're not doing enough. Lonely. It's a very lonely journey as an entrepreneur, and it causes lots of health problems for people. not sleeping, not eating, not taking care of oneself. And what else is there? I actually have notes for that. Just let me find them quick. What else? I'm just trying to think of from my own perspective, because I've been doing it for almost like 40 years already. And I have to say, that's huge. People don't realize it. But I really think loneliness is one of the huge ones, and being uncertain. I was told by one of my friends' mentors, we're kind of friends' mentors, he said, yeah, when you're an entrepreneur, it's much different than being in the corporate ladder. Because he said, even though you're on a ladder, you get to look up, there's somebody there. It might be an asshole, but there's still somebody there. But when you finally get to the top of the ladder, it's like, there's nobody there except you.
Mm.
That's why I don't drink beer either. I just get more of a potty mouth, sorry.
It's okay, I understand. I mean,
Yeah.
and thank you for sharing, George.
Mhm.
But, you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you could be working for the worst boss in the world as well, right?
The worst, definitely. There's no boss worse than ourselves.
Yeah.
Because, oh, for sure.
So for those who are watching the replay and they are considering whatever Pat was offering or John was talking about or Fred or whoever, you just heard something from George that says, hang in there, hang in there, because it's not all, what do you call it? It's not all a bed of roses. There can be days when you think, holy mackerel, why the hell did I do this in the first place? All that stuff, right? And you got to be able to handle it. And if you can't handle it, then entrepreneur is not for you. I agree. Thanks, George. Well done. You painted a great picture, but it was also the truth. I like that.
Welcome.
Carol Davies. Sorry, I've got dogs everywhere.
Yep, I just took myself off mute. This is a huge topic. It's especially close to my heart because I often work on questions like this with clients I have who've gone into small business, and especially from the corporate world, and they're not prepared that it's a totally different arena. It's a huge shock if you come, say, if you've been part of a corporation, organization, or even working with other people, and then suddenly you're what I call a solopreneur. And it's what was said. It's the feeling of being alone and isolated. It's very exciting when you first get your business going and started, and you're running on adrenaline and lots of coffee and positivity. But it's after time, maybe when things don't go the way you think they should, you start doubting yourself. That was a huge one for me. I came from being probably 30 years in the corporate world, and I'd always been looked after. I had things charted out. When I started my own business, I was it. I mean, I was my resource person. I was the CEO, the marketing person, cheering myself on. And I hit a fair number of bumps in the road where I didn't know everything. But what helped for me was finding out that I didn't have to do it all by myself. And for me, when I was starting out and I was feeling all those, the huge weight of loneliness, isolation, burnout almost, I got out and I started networking, getting out, being with other business owners who weren't doing necessarily what I was doing, but they were on their own too. And that helped tremendously because I had a group of people that I could network with, having problems. I get solutions and things like that. And when the pandemic hit, that all went away because the physical thing, I would go out, like have like a lunch or, coffee or what, that wasn't possible. So it was huge. the emotional toll of being a business owner again, but then networking popped up again through Zoom. So for me, it's keeping that personal touch with people, knowing I'm not alone. I can't do everything. And I try to have a good structure to my day, that I'm going to do this and this, and not overwhelm myself by being too demanding of myself. I can do so much in a day, but it's like someone else said, you have to leave room in your life for family and fun. So it's a fine line, and I walk it every day, but the best decision ever made was to become an entrepreneur.
Thank you, Carol. But you also covered something that George mentioned before, because I truly believe one of the greatest hidden emotional tolls is loneliness. It can be very lonely. And when you're lonely, it's damn hard, especially when things aren't working out for you. Okay. When things are rolling along, it doesn't matter too much, you can be on your own. But when things are working against you and you're lonely, it's tough. It's tough out there. And for those who are watching this replay, please understand that entrepreneurs earn every damn cent they make, because they've got to put up with this stuff every single day. They take a risk every time they get out of bed in the morning. They're not going to work on a salary. They're going to work to create a business. And that in itself is something that, if you are thinking about starting your business anyway, please make sure you're realistic about it. And accept the fact there are going to be days when you are bloody lonely. And that is not an easy thing to do. So thank you, Carol. And George, thank you for bringing it up in the first place. Great point. Okay. Glenda Kroll.
Thank you, Peter. Well, when I looked at your question, there was two things that came to mind that I think that I went through and still some of it that it challenges me with. So one is, first of all, financial anxiety. So many times we face financial stress and insecurity due to our own personal investments and loans that cause us constant worry of profitability and, like moving your monies around in all different areas, and creates a lot of financial anxiety to people. And the other one, which is a constant hard thing for me, is work and life balance. So for many of us entrepreneurs, we face long hours and we're on demands of running our small business, and leaving our work and life in balance. It's a strain to have still personal relationships in which we get a lot of burnout. When you have families, whether they're young or even older, we're also in the times right now where we call it the sandwich community. So you could have your children, and no matter how old your children are, they're still going to always be your children, and there's always seems to be something going on with them. And then we can have on the other side parents or older siblings that cause us to be pulled. And, it's really hard when you're working in a full day, and on top of it, those emergencies that come up and you're being pulled and you've got meetings, and it becomes a daily type of chore of trying to figure the time. So you're not staying up all night trying to get your work done because you've been dealing with your family. So it's the really biggest thing. And it's always been for me, is the work and life balance. Thank you.
Thanks, Glenda. And before we get to you, Fred, hello, Monica. First of all, I want to say thank you, because it has not been easy for you to get here today. So I appreciate you making the effort very much indeed. And Penny, the same for you, because you never know whether you're going to be at work or not at work. So for both you ladies, I appreciate the effort of being here. And I'll get back to you in a moment. Fred.
Yeah, I think the big one is the isolation, because it's like we all work at a computer now, predominantly. Like before COVID, everybody seemed to get out and you'd touch hands and you'd shake people and you'd meet at networking groups, but that's dropped off a lot since COVID. Everybody seems to be online, and I know I used to be known as like the networker, because everybody used to say, "Oh, you're everywhere." So people to show up at a networking group, I'd be there, and I used to make the excuse, "Well, it's the only place I can get a free drink, so I turn up." But But now it's different, you know. Now it's like, and I've got to bring my own bloody drinks now, which it doesn't work out well. So that's, you know, because it's all online. So it's the isolation, I think, is the big thing people have to worry about. And it's, you know, it's what Glenda was saying before about the money aspect too, because, you know, you might have good months and bad months, but if you're in employment, that check's coming in theoretically every month or whatever it is. It's the same amount, and you can budget pretty well. So one of the big stresses is that you might have a good month and you go, well, we'll go out and have a good couple of feeds this month, or spend the money, instead of actually thinking about maybe putting some of that aside for the leaner months. So there's a few stresses, and I think they're usually around isolation and money. And if you can manage those, then, well, you need to manage those, and you need to get your head around how you're going to manage those, because there's going to be bad times come on both areas where you won't be able to get out, whether it's just there's nothing happening, or you're isolated at home, or you just have a bad month. And but you know, a bad month means that the next month can either be worse or better. So there's only two ways it can go, and hopefully it's better. So I think isolation and money, they're probably the big ones for me.
And Fred, it may not necessarily be a bad month. It could be a bad quarter. It could be a bad 6 months.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you. Monica, would you like to share? Oh, no, hang on. Penny beat you by a little bit. Penny, over to you.
Hey, everyone. Good morning. So what I'm hearing is it sounds like it's been a basket of emotions and roller coasters. It's a matter of how you manage those. So if you take yourself out of the equation, and I've had to learn this the hard way, is it my emotions playing that I'm feeling alone, or am I really alone? There's many people you can reach out to. Here's a wonderful group for an example. So are you alone, truly, or is it the fact that your emotions are making you feel you're alone? Same with the money, right? Any situation, there's pros and cons to both. But I find that was helpful for me, and still is to this day, because I do run multi-rental properties. If you take the emotion out, then you'll find it's not as hard, and you'll realize there's positive to every situation. And it's a tricky thing to do sometimes when you're all up in your own head. But you'll find lots, or I found, I'm going to speak for myself, sorry. I found that a lot of times it was up in my head. I wasn't really alone. There was a solution for my financial thing. I may have had to take myself out and juggle my schedule a little different, but there was always a way. That's my 2 cents worth.
Well, I think that's worth 4 cents. Well done. Well done indeed. Thank you, Penny. Because there is always a way if you got your mindset in the right place. I agree. Monica. Absolutely. Monica, nice to see you, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, everyone. How are you? How is everybody? And sending my love. And I'm trying to see if I'm in touch with the topic, because last week's topic was more in line with me, but I can relate to this one too, because like everyone else before me said, it takes an emotional, and like the topic says, emotional. For me, the repetitive question was and is when it's going to happen, when the breakthrough is going to happen. So I never doubt that this is going to happen. So when you have the drive and the passion for that small little thing that you are doing online, the question remains when it's going to happen. So the frustration comes not necessarily from the fact that you doubt yourself, but from at times the inability to speed up the process. And of course, when you do something that your family can't understand, though they do understand, then a gap, slowly, a gap will start to take space and stretch and so on. So then you might find yourself alone in the process, and that is painful. But bear with me because I'm sharing my personal opinion. I'm not talking about anyone else but me. So how do you do? I think if your drive, it's bigger than the external factors, the emotional toll, I think because we have that intelligence, I think we find ways. So for me, I think the self-care topic from last week with today, I think they kind of emotional toll and the self-care, I think they go kind of hand in hand. So I found myself many times frustrated, crying, disappointed because I didn't know certain tasks and things. But when I took a deep breath and I look and I assess everything, the progress that I made, I think helped me a lot with my emotional toll. So with all this said, I think we are emotional human beings, we are emotional species, we are emotional people. So this will be part of us by anything we will do, but especially with not finding the right support at times, not always. I think we have to give to ourselves the right support by celebrating the small wins, the little things, and looking to how far we come. For me, I don't doubt I'm going to make it. I'm going to have a breakthrough. It's just I'm too, how to say, too eager to get there as soon as possible. So I hope it's in line with the topic, and thank you very much.
It is, Monica, it is. Because at the end of the day, you truly believe you're going to make a breakthrough, and we all believe you will too. But you hit the nail on the head when you said, when?
Yes.
When. Okay, that's when the frustration bit comes out. I mean, come on, it's time for me to get a win, so to speak, right? And that lined up with what, excuse me, George said earlier in terms of being lonely. Those two factors alone can be really difficult to handle. And even though, Penny, you said you can take the emotion out of it, etc., that's very easy to say, but it's not that easy to do. It's not that easy to do. And if you've done it, I admire you, and you have done it. So I really do admire you because you've come through to hell and back and to get where you are now. So, excuse me. So for those who are watching this and going through a difficult time, someone like Penny Kennedy would be one person in particular I'd reach out to because she has been through more tough times you can poke a stick at, and so has John Allen. Now, if you're going to be talking to John Allen, those watching the replay, remember he's an ex-copper, so he doesn't take any poo from anybody, right? So be careful. And he uses 4-letter words very effectively. So, George, you've got your hand up again. You want to say some more?
Yeah, we were talking about the negative impacts of the emotions, the emotional tolls. Actually, it's also the positive emotions as well, causes burnout because of the extra drive. Now it's like, oh, I'm winning. And so you will continue to work even more harder. And it's actually it's a pendulum big time, from good to bad, or we'll say from good emotions to bad emotions, back and forth. And like Penny said, it's about managing our emotions. I like to use the word just acceptance. For example, if it's a bad day, I know yesterday it's like I'm trying to write content. I can't write content. You know what I said? Hell with it. And I went for a walk, like John said. Just go for a walk, go do something else. Like you can't just sit there and beat yourself up. I can't write content. Just go do something fun. But it's just a huge emotional battle. And it's not all negative by all means. It's like probably the most rewarding experience in the world, especially when you get the breakthrough, like Monica said. When you have the breakthrough, it's like, wow, the breakthroughs never stop. That's the thing. It's like the next step and the next step. It's like playing a video game. There's a boss at every level. And it's like, oh, I finally beat that boss. You get to the next level. My God, it's even worse. And then you have another boss. And the only time the game ends is when we stop playing.
Mm. Mm.
I think it depends on which day you ask me also this question, which state of emotions I am, what I'm going through. Because if you ask me like a few months back, I would say differently. If you ask me today, I say differently. And I'm sure by the end of the year, I'll say it differently. So it depends on the emotional state that influences our answers also, and our suggestion, our experiences, our advice.
That's why I love you, Monica, because you tell the truth. Good on you. Yeah, because what you just said is very, very true. Okay, and it's not just an emotional roller coaster, as George was referring to, and other people, but it's also it can be the impact that it has on you and your self-belief, your self-worth that Carol was talking about. And if you do not have a real purpose in life, and you don't have a burning desire to achieve what you want, you'll end up going down a hole. And it's going to be a very difficult hole to get out of unless you know exactly what you're really trying to get. And if you know what you're really after, then these emotional tolls can be part of your journey, and you can handle it. As Penny said, she can put the emotions aside. Well, the way to put the emotions aside, in my mind, is to have something that you desperately want more than anything in the world. And that means you can put the emotions aside and get what you want. That's how I feel about it.
But I think there's two sides to that, Peter, because if you're just doing it for a little extra cash or something that you enjoy doing, you're not as emotionally invested.
Yep,
so you find it more fun. So I guess it depends on how and why you're doing what you're doing.
I agree. If the purpose is big enough, it'll drive you there. Yeah. Ashvin, thanks, Penny. And thank you also, Monica. Ashvin, what about you?
Well, I want to thank everybody. I think most of the things are covered. For me, I would say personally, talking to other entrepreneurs or mentors, it helps a lot because they know a couple of steps ahead of you, and they can raise you emotionally and intellectually. That's what works for me, really. Being part of a group of entrepreneur like we are here, and I'm glad we brought up this discussion. We should have more of it. I think it gets rid of the loneliness, and because they already have experienced it also, other people, so they can share their experience with you. I think that helps me a lot, actually. And having a bigger purpose also, obviously, sometimes I kick myself in the butt, give myself short deadlines to get things done. I said, if I don't do the task today, I'll be more behind than if I don't do it. So I rather do it and keep on moving one step at a time. So I push myself a lot, so to speak, and give myself short deadlines to get things done. And sometimes you do fall off the map emotionally. Sometimes you get sick, like you could be down. And I find that walking and hiking, things like that, worked before a lot. But I found to being part of a group of entrepreneurs helps me more. It's like a Tylenol, helps me right away.
Well said,
Yeah.
Ashvin. Well said indeed. By the way, I left the word hidden in there, the hidden emotional tolls, for one specific reason, and that is sometimes they are hidden from ourselves because we're hiding from reality, we're hiding from the truth. Okay?
That's true. That's very much true. Yeah.
And when you think that through, it takes somebody to sit with you to get to the truth, and that truth may not be very pleasant, but it's going to be reality for you.
Right.
That's why I call it hidden emotional toll. Okay, that's the only reason I put it in there. Okay.
Actually, one thing else. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
One thing else I want to mention that somebody brought up is like positive, like trying to overachieve and trying to get things done. I find that I do sometimes things quickly and I run myself over rather than slowing down and smelling the roses, so to speak, and doing it properly. So that could be another hazard of being a sole entrepreneur also, you know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That is very true. I'm guilty of that. I've been very guilty of doing things, trying to get so many things done so quickly. Yeah, but I agree with that.
Yes.
I'm keeping you to the last, Pat Dryer, because I've got a good feeling about you. So hang in there. And I know you could wrap this up pretty well. So instead of going to you, I'm going to go to Alpha Freeman. Young man in a hurry. Hidden emotional tolls of running your business. What are they, Alpha?
I think for the most part, everyone has said some really key components in terms of like the lonely side. And I think that's just a natural human instincts. You know, we tend to feel like we're alone. But for the most part, I myself, just to put myself in that boat, a lot of time when I live abroad, I feel like I'm alone. I'm lonely. There's nobody around me whatsoever. Maybe when I'm doing my businesses or formulating skincare products. But I'm learning each and every day the importance of having faith and knowing that I'm not alone by myself. There's people around me, but it's just like a mental thing, like your mind playing tricks with you. You know, at one point you think you're high up here because you got some sales. Next day you're not whatsoever. You walk down the street and you realize how grateful you are because you're doing something that's special. Not much people are doing it whatsoever. But then again, you beat yourself so hard because you're not where you're supposed to be. And I just think it's just, you know, the patience factor and understanding that you got to be kind to yourself and everything is going to happen in due terms. Whether if it's meant to be today or tomorrow or next year whatsoever, and just having faith in yourself that everything is going to manifest itself in a reality. The one thing right now I'm currently working on when I'm working on next generation business talk or when I'm formulating my skincare products whatsoever is just understanding the faith mechanism behind it, knowing that I have to be patient with myself. When things are ready, they'll be ready. If not, it is what it is. That's just my key components right there.
That is very well spoken, Alpha. My goodness me.
And while he's at it, he's throwing in a soccer career. And that's going to be time consuming as well.
That's true. That's true.
True.
Well said, Alpha. Well said indeed. And thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Before I get to you, Pat, I just want to make a comment. I mean, my life is all about creating memorable moments for people. And right now, one of the biggest emotional tolls of running my business right now in Thailand is the government, right? We've got a lot of challenges with this government. I'm not going to go into detail because I'll probably be taken off the air, but the bottom line is this, that the immigration police are making it almost impossible for foreigners like me to run a business. And I have somebody who's been looking after me, God bless her heart and soul, right? Her name is Grace, for the last 10 years. And just last week, I decided to do something different for her. I sent her a basket of flowers, okay, online, you know, and I made sure they weren't red roses and things. I didn't want to get the wrong idea from some foreigner talking to a Thai lady, right? But they were, you know what I mean? They were now mixed in with, there was a bottle of wine in there, there's some biscuits and whatever it was, right? The whole shooting match. As a result of that, and that cost me $2,000, $60, right? And as a result of that, Grace called me yesterday. My visa is due. The biggest problem with me is I want to be able to leave the country and go to some places, but I can't do it because I can't get back in again. And Grace said to me, Peter, do you want a multi-entry visa? I said, yeah, but I can't get back in. She said, yes, you can. I'll do it for you. Now, I didn't do it for that reason, right? But she is going to do it. She works for the immigration department, okay? But I don't want to ask her how she does it. All I know, I get official documentation, and that's all I need to get through the gate, right? So now I can leave the country and get back in again. And to be quite frank with you, that was due to a bunch of flowers. That's what it was. Make people feel special, make them feel memorable, okay, every single day. All right, I just wanted to share. Okay, Pat, I've been busting to hear you, mate. Okay. The hidden emotional toll of running a business.
You're right about the people, because Bob Proctor says it best. It says, if you want success in life, just leave people better off than you found them. And he is so right in that. And it doesn't have to be flowers. It could be a compliment. It could be a smile. It could be just anything that goes, right? So, but as far as this, I've had a lot of experience over the years for both the emotional and the hidden emotional side of it. And I've learned to, like Penny, put it aside and just assume that everything's great and that you can fix anything, and that trying to throw fear in, or just looking at the worry and trying not to. Anyway, the fear and worry is not worth it in any way. It's going to happen one way or another. You just got to make sure it happens the way you wanted it to go. And it doesn't always happen that way, but you have to accept that and move on. I look at this as it's really a mindset issue. And as far as the loneliness, if you can learn to love yourself and become your best friend, you'll never be alone again, because that is so attractive that people will be flocking to you, trying to figure out what you're doing. And so we all have personal things that go on during our business life. We have to stay consistent in the things that we do in our business, or our business fails us, or we fail our business. But we just have to be aware of our mental state. We have to know that things are going to happen, and we have to put them aside. And like I said, everything's great. And as long as your perspective on things is different, because as Penny was talking about, everybody's got a different perspective on absolutely every idea. So if you're sitting around and you're feeling nasty about something that happened and your emotions are getting involved, just try to picture it from Glenda's point of view, or Afshin's point of view, or Penny's point of view, or Monica's point of view, and then be that person and try to, what would that person do if I was in this situation? And at that point, again, you're not alone, because you have all these people in the room with you. They're not physically there, but they're here. And so the hidden emotional parts of it, these are the things that you have to take care of. You have to take care of, just not now. And Peter, you're the best one for this. You're just an amazing example for this. You have so much going on in your life, and you always show up. But you have to address everything that's been going on to you, and you do. I know you do, off camera, by yourself. But and that's you, for your mind and your heart. You have to address this. The emotional part of the hidden emotional part of what's going on with you is admirable, the way you handle it.
Well said, Pat. Well said.
Yeah. So anyway, to me, it's mindset. You got to have the confidence. You have to be aware of the things that are going on. You have to just put them aside and look at everything as great, whether it's good or bad. Everything's great, and then handle the bad part of it later on.
But you also
there's a lot to it.
But you also agree you need to have a burning desire to achieve a specific purpose?
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you don't have
absolutely.
that,
or all the squirrels and butterflies will get your attention, and you'll just drag yourself around, right?
Yeah. And Penny, I love what you said in the chat. I find a key is to try and take yourself out of the equation. That is very clever.
It's not easy.
No, but it's clever.
But every brain has
like
fight or flight, right? So sometimes you have to stop and say, okay, am I fighting or am I taken off here? Like what? It's just human instinct, because that's how the brain works.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Anyone else? Going once. Anything else?
Call a
Rose?
friend. If you need to, call a friend. We're
Absolutely.
all here for each other. We're here for
I
our
want to
family.
add something. I want to add something, especially for people who go through real pain and depression and burned out, because I know it too well. It's easy for us to say call a friend, and I don't want to diminish anyone's words or anything. I'm just trying to bring something to everyone's attention. When people are suffering, when they are alone, when they are in depression, when they are in pain, disappointed, they can't open, because we do have these feelings that, what am I going to say? How am I going to explain? Why should I burden someone else? And so on. So I think, as the world turns to be, I think the most important is for the people, for us to try to reach out and make sure that the people around us for me, for example, if I am a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, and I took a journey of loneliness, of struggle, whatever it is, I would like my family to ask me if I'm okay. I'm not going to go and say to my family, I'm okay, or I'm not okay. So I think at some point, the people that are doing well will have to change the way they see things, because when we are doing well, we should try and reach out and make sure that other people, the people that we love or the people that we care, are doing well. But that's just me. Thank you.
No, Monica, I think that is absolutely dead right. Absolutely, really very important. So thank you very much for sharing that, because, I mean, life's not easy. And when you're down, it's damn hard to reach out anyway, isn't it, when you think of it?
If I will cry and I'll crawl down and I will be in stress, depression, and so on, and I know it too well, I'm not going to start and call. No, I'm not going to start and call someone else, because I don't want to be a burden to someone else, because I wouldn't know how to explain, because pain is not easy to explain. Struggle is not easy to explain. Depression is not easy to explain. Anxiety is not easy to explain. You don't want to be laughed at. You don't want to be pointed out. So many things are going on there. And the pain makes you silent. So people go through real pain. The pain makes you silent. Thank you.
And that's why you should hear what Pat Dreyer said, right? Because he hit the right on the head. All right, everybody, thank you. I know you got to go. I just want to say thank you very much for your contribution. It was a difficult topic, and I want to say thank you for putting your 2 cents worth in. And I'm looking forward to having as many as you as possible join me next week. In the meantime, lots of love from Thailand. And I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, say thank you. Thank you for being part of this family. It's important to each of us that we are honest with each other, that we reach out to each other, that we care for each other, and we also appreciate each other. So if you hadn't had the chance to talk to each other yet, please do that. And for those who are watching the replay, same message goes to you. Reach out and talk to these people. Life's bloody difficult on your own, okay? Here are people who are willing to help you. So thanks, everybody. Take care. Cheers for now.
Love to all. Nice to see you, friend.